Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
SZA betrays Drake. SZA teams up with Kendrick on tour. Andrew shows sick comment about Kendrick.
You know that SZA and Drake used to date?
They did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I
Back
don't even
in
know
08.
they had the song together. Back in 08?
Mm-hmm.
SZA
It's
wasn't
technically
a thing
not
before
08.
in 08.
Technically it's not 08. That bar is intended to rhyme, but they did date.
Because 08, SZA wasn't even a thing anymore.
Who's the topic? SZA and Kendrick Lamar recently announced that they are going on a joint stadium tour together called the Grand National Tour next year. This is going to be all the rave. I'm actually excited for it.
So clever
I've
because
seen
SZA does really good numbers.
Yeah, she does.
She's always on a billboard.
She does. I was impressed with her numbers this year, yeah.
Her before. She's incredible. So I know she's going to put on a good show. And also Kendrick, in my opinion, is one of the best hip-hop performers out right now. I mean, top three, I would say him, Tyler, the Creator, and Doja Cat. They really give a show. But I know Kendrick is an amazing performer, and people are going to see that when he...
I'm going to disagree with that list, but that's for another video.
Headlines the Super Bowl halftime show next year. It's going to be a big thing. It'll definitely drive up the sales for this tour. Now, I will say these prices are a bit high. They are high, so I do expect this concert to be top-notch. I don't want them to spare no expense and put it on the best production as possible, because if they're going to be charging people these high prices,
how much?
They need to deliver in every way possible. And I'm sure they will. They probably will, but still, my expectations are super high, and I am excited for it. So I'll give y'all my review when I attend. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about some people having an issue with SZA doing this tour with Kendrick because they feel like she is betraying Drake. Now, SZA and Drake have been cool for a very, very long time. In fact, they used to date back in the day, like around 2008, 2009. And at the time, SZA was around 19, and I think Drake was around 22. I bring up their ages because it was believed that SZA was younger than that, like she was underage, but she wasn't. So she had to actually say what her real age was so people wouldn't get anything misconstrued. But she and Drake have always been cool, and Drake has always spoke highly of her. They've done songs together, and Drake even defended her when one of his super fans, DJ Academics, made a comment about SZA's weight.
You don't call me too? Drake called me. When Drake called me, I was like, "This is wait about SZA? Yes. What? Yes. To say what?" Drake was like, "Hey, like she's a very close friend of his," and it was very friendly. It was just like, "Yo, hey, listen," like he was just kind of trying to see like what I thought about it. He's like, "I can rock with you too." He said, they were doing an album at the time, and he was just like, she's affected by things like that, and I guess he was just like, there got to be some middle ground here. These things like emotionally mess her up, she stays away from certain stuff because, yes, your words could matter.
So Drake called up Academics over SZA. So he's always been in her corner. They seem to have a good relationship.
Who, Academic?
Yeah.
Calling upon black, I don't know.
And they collaborated on a few songs too, but...
It's like Nicki said, right? She ain't no fat man telling her what he ain't eating.
Oh my God.
Now that SZA is, joining forces with Kendrick, some people feel like SZA is betraying Drake. But what some people don't realize is SZA and Kendrick have always been cool too. In fact, they were label mates at one point.
Do you think it's a betrayal?
What? Okay, first of all, SZA is her own entity. Drake can tell her who she work with, who not to work with. Like, he is free to work with whoever. She is free to work out with whoever. She is not in the beef. She's not in the problem. She's not saying anything bad about Drake. She's not saying anything nasty about Drake. She's getting to the back. Do you think she should have loyalty and consideration for her friend? She probably does care for her friend, and I don't know what they do off camera, but this is business. She's a businesswoman. Let's keep it business.
Right. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I feel like if Drake don't want her to, then well, Drake, let's go on the concert together. That's the only way I ain't going. But other than that, that's a bag.
But he's maybe used to that because Young
Who's
Money, Drake, Lil Wayne, and Nicki, they used to really, going for each other. Like, if there's a problem with Lil Wayne, Nicki is quick to say something. If something is wrong with Drake, Nicki is defending them, and vice versa. Drake will go and support.
That's
Nicki
a little different. They came up together. It's like like the friends that you come up together are different than the friends you make in college. It's kind of like that's that kind of relationship. And
while they did date back then, it was not really known to us. and they seem to still have a friendship, but that's not really known to us even still to this day. So I think this shouldn't become a problem.
Yeah, I know.
Right now,
I
for
agree.
them
I
to
don't.
work
I don't think it's a
Kendrick.
betrayal at all. I
No.
think it's about the bag. If Drake don't want her to go, well, then offer her the same bag she would make on, on
Or-
the tour.
Or why hasn't there been a situation already that Drake and SZA have done a tour together?
Right.
Why can
That's
you
what- yeah.
now make an issue if you never even looking for me for the same
Exactly.
opportunity?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's a
insane.
great point. Yeah.
On point. They both have affiliations with TDE. They've collaborated
And
multiple
we
times,
don't
and
know
obviously their
SZA's relationship to Kendrick. She can be friends
She
with
is.
Kendrick.
She's explaining that right now. Actually, yeah.
collaborations have generated quite a bit of money for their label. So their work relationship is lucrative, and it's not really surprising to me to see SZA join up with Kendrick. I mean, she got to get to the bag at the end of the day, and her loyalty will be with TDE. But people still feel like she betrayed Drake in the midst of all this, and
No,
some
I
people
don't
were
feel
calling
that.
her
I
out on
feel that
social
way,
media. They were even saying that she is a mole. They were accusing her of collecting information from Drake to bring information back to his longtime nemesis, Kendrick Lamar.
I figured out who the mole was. SZA is the mole. Now we can say it started from the controllers, but where it really started is with that BDT cipher. And who in the background smiling? Who has a reputation of being a known?
Honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't do that. That's grounds for lawsuit. Somebody wants to sue him for slander. Like, he has no proof. He's just spitting nonsense right now.
Liar, pathological liar. SZA. All of the good ingredients of a mole, she's been there in the mix.
We've just seen SZA execute one of the longest, most calculated get-backs in history. Okay? If y'all remember correctly, Drake was the one that was bragging on his mans and dropped SZA's name about the relationship that they had with each other back in the day. She fake forgave him. She got on him. She pretended to be besties. She was getting features. She was getting brought out on stage. She was getting food out. She was getting opportunities because of her proximity with Drake. But did that proximity with Drake fuck up her relationship with her work with Kendrick Lamar or her crew or at TDE? Absolutely not. My girl was a double agent. Okay, she was using those lying abilities to collect motherfucking information from Drake, who was an egotistical maniac. So of course he's going to believe that somebody wants to stroke his ego, and that's exactly what SZA did. She was on multiple of his albums. She was collecting the motherfucking bag. She was getting her social cachet off Drake. And then when it was time for those tables to motherfucking turn, she went right back to her work husband, Kendrick Lamar, and dropped all that motherfucking information. Beyonce been saying that SZA was the mole, but when she did that Harper's Bazaar interview with Kendrick Lamar, the first interview he did after the beef, it was like, okay, Beyonce, you ate that. Then we look on the album, and two of the biggest tracks on the album, she's also featured on, okay, Beyonce, you ate that. Now she's headlining the tour with Kendrick.
This is funny. Do y'all really think SZA was a double agent this whole time? I don't know. Possibly. Personally, I think SZA is out for herself only. I mean, she's here for the opportunities and the money.
As she should be. I mean, nobody else is going to look out for her but herself. So, honestly, I don't have any problem with what she's doing.
That's really it. And even looking at this whole joint tour with Kendrick now, I feel like TDE is basically sending SZA to link up with him so they could get a piece of the pie, because Kendrick is no longer on TDE. He has his own label situation called PG Lane. So at this point, I don't think he needs to do any business with TDE. But Punch is still looking to make a profit off of Kendrick, and he's using SZA to do it, I think. It's kind of like a mutually beneficial situation, really, because, Kendrick could benefit from doing a joint stadium tour with SZA. SZA has a huge fan base. A lot of people will come out to see her on top of coming out to see him. And on the flip side, he's actually helping TDE by continuing to do business with their artists. Now, moving on, I want to briefly talk about this mess. Now, the comedian Andrew Schulz, I believe, was under fire for basically saying that he wants to buck break Kendrick Lamar. Yes, you heard
To
correctly.
what?
Now,
He wants to what?
I don't like him, though.
basically saying that he wants to buck break Kendrick Lamar.
He's rude.
Yes, you heard correctly. Now,
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Bro, why gotta do back up?
They grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out.
now Kendrick did indirectly check Andrew on his song Whacked Out Mural, saying, "Don't let no white."
That's what this was about. I heard the line. I didn't catch it. Who was he talking about? I thought he was talking about the other comedian. I don't know his name, but he had like his ex-wife was black. I go.
Who? Oh, Owen?
Yes. Yeah.
Gary Owen.
Yeah, Gary Owen. There you go. I thought he was talking about him because I didn't know he was. There was a beef.
I think
with
that
him
could
then.
apply to him, too.
Because no, I honestly,
that applies to him too.
that's what I thought who he was talking about when I heard the line. Because that's the only white comedian I know that had a had a black wife. I didn't know nothing about him. I don't really know this guy.
He's mean. I don't know too much either.
I've seen his interviews once. And they were kind of like
I don't know. He's mean for no reason.
He was interviewing. He was interviewing, I think, an NBA player. That's why I watched him. And
what did you think?
He did come off a little racist to me, so I didn't watch anything after. It just didn't have a good vibe.
A comedian talk about no black women, that's law. And I'm glad that Kendrick said that. He didn't call Andrew out by name, but he definitely put him on notice and said, listen, we not rocking with that in our culture. Now, it would have been smart for Andrew not to respond to this, but he did, and he made some very disturbing comments.
Like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody in security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But
yeah, that's racist. What are you saying?
Just Kendrick. I would make love to him. There's nothing he can do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. We're in a cell and we're bored, and we've done tattooing each other, whatever you're doing in the cell, and we ran out of board games, and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he can physically do to stop that. Like, the only reason he got security is this.
Yeah, that's the thing with his podcast. He has like 3 other guys that just hyping him up, and he's saying, like the racist shit like that. Yeah.
Stop people from having sex with him whenever he wants.
This was so crazy, and I didn't play the full audio, but he kept going on and on. It was just like very disturbing. He's literally joking about R-ing another person, another man, and it goes deeper than that. It has layers racially because historically, white slave masters used to butt break their black male slaves. So it's weird to hear a white
Really?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
man say that about another black man, and people called him out on it. Meek Mill called him out on it. Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson, called him out on it. Also, the radio DJ, Peter Rosenberg, called him out too, but he more so was defending Kendrick against the claims that he doesn't care about uplifting the culture and uplifting black women. So people are not here for Andrew's comments. And honestly, I would like for his business partner, Charlamagne the God, to really speak up about it.
He hasn't said anything. That's suspicious to me.
Charlamagne is the partner of his?
Yes.
Well, but to be fair, Charlamagne is fake. He didn't say nothing about Diddy because he was... they were owned by fucking one of the Diddy's corporation.
I need him to say something.
So he didn't say nothing about Diddy until it got to a point where there's no defending him. Then you're like, had to say something. We know Charlamagne is fake.
It's because Charlamagne is definitely the reason why some people in the black community know Andrew, because he did a whole podcast with him and made him feel comfortable to speak on black culture and black music, and he really doesn't have an authority to speak on those things because he's not a part of it, nor is he knowledgeable about it, nor does he respect it. So I do think Charlamagne should check his buddy, but I don't know if Charlamagne's words are going to be effective enough. But when Kendrick responds to Andrew, it's going to give him the reality check he needs, and he probably is going to have to beef up his security when he comes to LA. Anyway, tell what y'all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care.
Alright.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.